Hello, realistic fiction writers. Welcome back to another day of realistic fiction writing with Miss Gage. I am so excited to be writing with you today. Today, we are going to be using chapters to write our stories in beginning, middle, and end format. I'm so excited. Let's get started. Sometimes books are broken into chapters. Here is an awesome realistic fiction book called Mr. Putter and Tabby Drop the Ball. This book is so long. So the author decided to break it into bite-sized sections called chapters. Chapter 1 of this book is called Baseball. Chapter 2 is called The Team. Chapter 3 is called The Dandies, and so on and so forth. Today, you're going to get to do that. Serious fiction writers often divide their story into chapters. What is Baby Yoda saying? Break the story into 3 parts, you will. Let's find out how we're going to do that. The first chapter of your story is going to be your beginning. In the beginning, you meet the characters, you meet the setting, and then you learn what happens first in your story. Chapter 2 is your middle. In the middle, you answer the question, what's the trouble in your book? Chapter 3 is your end. In chapter 3, you learn, how was the trouble fixed? Let's do it. I'm so excited to jump in. I'm going to try breaking my new story into 3 chapters. But you know what I learned, friends? I found that the story I created last week, where Sam D meets his new dog, would be a fantastic chapter 1 for my new chapter book story. I'm going to take this story from last week and turn it into chapter 1. It's perfect. In this story, I meet the characters, I learn about the setting, and I find out what happens first in my story. Now, I need your help for writing chapters 2 and 3. Let's jump in. Writers, today for writing, you're going to need lots of paper for your sketches, your retail bookmark from your toolkit. This is really going to help make sure that you get all the different parts of your realistic fiction story and don't forget anything. And the last thing you're going to need is your super cool Technicolored pen. Today, we are going to write with the color black. As soon as you have all of these materials ready to go, make sure you join me so we can jump in. All right, friends, as I mentioned before, I already have my chapter 1 ready to go. In chapter 1, you meet my characters, you meet the setting, and you learn what happened in the beginning of my story. Sam D gets a brand new puppy, and he names his puppy Buddy. We are ready to move on to the middle. Watch how I practice sketching the problem in my story, okay? Let me see. Here's what's going to happen with black. Alrighty. Here is Sam. Get ready to learn what happens here. This is a little bit worrisome. Sam was playing with his dog Buddy. And all of a sudden, Buddy stopped eating. He was sleeping a lot and holding his tail between his legs. He was not his happy self, and Sam was worried. What's wrong? Sam asked Buddy. Buddy didn't eat for 2 whole days. Sam was facing a really big problem. Now, it's time for me to sketch the end of my story. Remember, chapter 3 is the end, and I need to have a solution. This is what happened. Sam raced and took his dog, poor Buddy, to the vet. He was so worried. They didn't hear from the vet for so long. And then all of a sudden, the vet came out. Sam ran to the vet and saw that the vet had Buddy. Buddy was smiling. He looked like he was feeling so much better. In fact, his little tail was wagging. Sam was so relieved. Buddy! You're okay, Sam yelled. Oh, he was so glad to see that Buddy was okay. Now, friends, I have all of my chapters. I have a solution, I had a problem, and I have my chapter 1. I'm going to go back and add snappy titles to my chapters. I'm going to call chapter 1, where Sam meets his brand new dog, The Surprise. Chapter 1 is The Surprise. Chapter 2, where there's a huge problem in the story, I'm going to call that The Terrible Thing. And chapter 3, where there was a solution to our problem, I'm going to call that Saved. Writers, did you notice how I sketched all the parts of my story? I even used an old story and incorporated it into my book, and I named all 3 chapters something snappy. Writers, today, here is your challenge. I challenge you to sketch the 3 main parts of your story using your retail bookmark to guide you. You can create an entirely new story, or you can build on a story that you already created. Then think of snappy titles for each of your 3 chapters. On Seesaw, you have 2 slides to help guide your thinking. The first slide is called Sketch It Out. Be sure to sketch out the 3 main parts of your story on the slide. If you'd rather sketch on paper, that's totally fine. Then you can upload a picture of your sketch. On slide 2, you will see My Snappy Chapter Titles. Then be sure to type, write, or record your 3 snappy chapter titles. Writers, I cannot wait to see your chapter books. Keep working, keep persevering. I am so proud of you. Good luck today.